WBAY TV, your first alert station. Action 2 News This Morning live stream starts now.
Hey there, how you doing on this Tuesday? Great to have you with us here in our Action 2 News This Morning live stream. I'm Tammy Elliott.
And I'm Emerson Lehman. Great to have you joining us. And we want to start right away with new information from police on the disappearance of Elijah Vue.
Yeah, let's get right to Emily Roberts joining us live in Two Rivers, where Elijah was last seen 2 weeks ago today. And Emily, what are police saying, the new information about the search and the investigation?
Well, Tammy, Emerson, if you have surveillance cameras, if you have video doorbells, anything like that, police want you to check for a vehicle of interest as soon as possible. We first learned about this and told you about it last night on Action 2 News. So take a look at this. This is what you should be looking for. Police have this car right now, but they still want help trying to pinpoint it between some certain hours I'll tell you about in a little bit. So any videos, any pictures, very helpful in this investigation. It is a 1997 beige Nissan Altima with a plate starting with the letter A and ending with the number 0. Two Rivers Police want you to check for that Nissan on cameras from February 19th between 2 and 9 p.m. no matter where you live, whether you live in the immediate Two Rivers area or not. And if you see anything you think investigators should take a look at, they want you to submit it on a special Department of Justice website and fill out a short form. It's very simple. I clicked it this morning. It shouldn't take very long. And to make it easier for you to find that, we have it posted on WBAY.com/links. We're also learning today that police officers are going to be continuing big searches in rural areas, they say across the state. So they're hoping that every community, if you see an increased police presence, just that people are respectful of that.
And Emily, as the officers continue their search, we know Elijah's family, they paused their search efforts for today, but those are going to be resuming tomorrow. What do people need to know if they want to help out with those searches?
Well, this is very important if you've been following these search parties since Elijah first went missing. It looks a little bit different starting tomorrow. These are the search parties organized by Elijah's family. The contact really is Elijah Vue most of the time. So you can see right here on your screen, you might want to take a picture or a screenshot, however you can do that when you're watching this live stream. There are two different search party times. So one search party leaving at 9:30, one search party leaving at 1 in the afternoon. Of course, they could break up, go different locations, but those are the two times that they're asking people to come out to the Mikado Theater, same location as usual, but they're just trying to stop it from being kind of a slow trickle of people who have to wait for more people so that they can form a larger group to head out. This should really streamline the process, make it easier for everyone to get involved and help out. But even if you can't join a search, of course, you can always donate. We have those police donation links on WBAY.com/links, as well as the link to submit any videos, any pictures that you find on those cameras. So easy to make a difference, easy to help look for Elijah, even if you can't actually physically come out here to Manitowoc County.
Yeah, Emily, appreciate it. And again, you've been following this for 2 weeks now since Elijah first went missing. Our viewers so interested in every new detail, so we appreciate that. And again, we'll keep you updated as we learn any new information on that. And again, take a look at Elijah's photo there. Feet tall, weighs between 45 and 50 pounds. There's that state tip line, and investigators say calling in anything, even if you think it might be small, call that in, 844-267-6648, and we'll continue to keep you updated as we learn any new information on the investigation.
And now time to talk about First Alert traffic with Catherine Bracho. And Catherine, you have an update this morning on a crash in Sheboygan County.
Yeah, we've been following this, guys, for much of the morning. It's on Highway 23 between Fond du Lac and Sheboygan. It's affecting the eastbound lanes. And you can see there's still a little bit of a slowdown on that eastbound side, just east of Greenbush. It's between Greenbush and Plymouth. Officials have one lane on that eastbound side blocked, so it's a bit slow going through there. We're going to continue to monitor this, but if you're heading through there from, say, Fond du Lac to Sheboygan, just slow down and watch for those first responders. We were following another crash, guys, up in Outagamie County in the Greenville area. They had to close parts of Highway 15 and Highway 76, but that crash has all been cleared away, which is good news for folks heading into town, into the Valley area from, New London, Hortonville, Greenville, places like that. And then you can see here in Howard, 41 at 29, really great conditions. So we're going to continue to monitor things, but we don't see significant weather issues for sure with the traffic this morning.
All right, sounds good. Catherine, thank you. Time now to discuss weather with Chief Meteorologist Steve Baline. Good morning, and looking for some sunshine today, Steve.
Looking around, hoping to find some. You won't have to look too long, Tammy. You're going to get some quickly. The showers and thunderstorms that we had yesterday and last night, they have exited the area according to First Alert Viper Max. This is a recap of all that wet weather that came in yesterday. And some of the showers and storms put down some brief heavy rainfall. I want to give you a radar recap of how much rain we received. According to Viper Max, which is able to analyze the data and give you a ballpark of how much rain came down, less fell to the north and west, more to the south and to the east. Green Bay got 71/100ths of an inch of rain. That broke a daily record rainfall total. Rainfall totals highest in Sheboygan County. According to Viper Max, an inch or more fell in around Sheboygan and in Oostburg. And this is great because we've been dealing with really dry conditions all last year and then below normal snowfall for winter. So this moisture is sorely needed. The clouds will be clearing out this morning. We'll get back into some sunshine, and you'll notice it's going to be cool and breezy. We'll have a high of 46 degrees. That'll be pretty close about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
It was so, I love thunderstorms, so to be able to just kind of sit there in the afternoon yesterday and hearing that thunder roll, and it feels like spring now. It really does.
It really does, Steve.
Yeah, definitely a sign of spring when you hear the thunder and you think to yourself like, ooh, there's some excitement there. All those showers and storms are now moving to the eastern side of the Great Lakes. You can see some of that heavy rain near Lansing, Michigan, heading over towards Saginaw. Skies are clearing out across Wisconsin. This area of clearing is because of a high pressure system. It's right up here, and it's going to move right along the U.S.-Canadian border. And even though the high is passing to our north, it's going to give us some sunshine and also funnel in some cooler Canadian air. So right now our temperatures are mostly in the 30s, but across the north we're in the 20s. 27 in Anago, while it's 37 in Oshkosh. And with that north wind blowing in ahead of high pressure, bringing in that cooler air, it's around 10 to 15 miles an hour, and also dropping our wind chills back into the 20s in a lot of spots. Our wind chill is only at 18 degrees in Anago. So I want to give you the highs and everything here on First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. This afternoon we'll be in the 40s, close to 50 across central Wisconsin, a little cooler lakeside, Sheboygan, a high of 43 degrees. But with that wind, guys, it's going to feel a little bit brisk and nippy. Gusts will be around 20 miles an hour, and that wind is going to give us wind chills in the 20s right now, but mostly in the 30s between now and this afternoon.
Such an in-between time right now. You're mentioning wind chills, but then we're looking forward to some spring-like weather.
It's a transition time. In fact, this is around this time of year where meteorologist David Ernst and I, we consider, okay, what is in our 24/7 weather channel, what is relevant, what is not relevant, and sometimes we have to make some changes. That's something we're going to be keeping an eye on because we just got our first allergy alert yesterday from the Kagan Allergy Clinic. Anyway, so Predictor shows those clouds that we have right now moving on out. It'll turn sunny later this morning. You'll be hard-pressed to find any significant clouds around this afternoon. And with the high-pressure system nearby, tonight is going to be generally clear. There probably will be some clouds that drift off of Lake Michigan onshore, but otherwise it's just kind of peaceful and quiet today, tomorrow, Thursday on your First Alert 7-day forecast. Now, this next weather maker here on Friday, it's a chance of showers, maybe some wet snowflakes at the tail end of that precipitation Friday evening, but there is also a chance that that bogey there passes south of us. So if it tracks south, we may have to wipe away that rain chance, but for now, I'm going to keep it in, and we'll follow it closely as that weather maker gets a little bit closer later in the week.
All right. Sounds good, Steve.
All right, good.
Appreciate it. All right, we're going to turn now to a discussion with First Alert Safety Desk, Kristen Allen, who's in for Aisha this week. Something I talk a lot about in Consumer First Alerts, job scams, and how they really those scammers are taking advantage of people who are looking for a job.
Yeah, I didn't even realize how prevalent it was, but really it's on the rise according to the Identity Theft Resource Center. They've really seen this increase, and these scams are nothing new, but from December last year to January this year, they saw a 545% increase in the that's huge.
Yeah, this is just that new report that was just
Right.
coming in. That's crazy,
Yeah,
that
so-
increase.
So there are some things that people can do to protect themselves or to be a lookout for if you are looking for a job. And one of those things is to really be careful of how much personal information that you're sharing, especially in that initial application process. I mean, employers really shouldn't be asking you for sensitive information right off the bat or anything like that. So interviews by phone and Skype, of course, are pretty standard these days, but it is a red flag if a potential employer asks you to then download a third-party app to communicate. They shouldn't be doing anything like that. So also being aware, as we said, that personal information, you shouldn't be giving social security numbers, financial account information, or any pictures of your driver's license. Another important one is to make sure you know the source of the job listing. So that one you might have to do a little bit of digging. So Google, do a search, the name of the company or the person who is hiring, and then add a word like scam or review with that name in the search engine to see what pops up, to see if there's any, scams out there to be aware of. And of course, we always say this with anything in life, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So if you get a really good job offer through a text or an email, it's probably a job scam. And then also just knowing that legitimate companies don't require any fees or upfront costs when you're applying for a job. And then if a potential employer were to send you a check and ask you to deposit it, that's probably a job scam.
Yeah,
So.
and from my research and just looking at all of this, they've become a lot more complex, these job scams,
Yeah.
and really kind of stringing you along. So you really, really have to be careful. And like you said, go to the source, look for the real
Make
company.
sure it's legitimate.
Make sure, yes.
And then a lot of these are popping up on the different platforms, Craigslist, and then some people are just being scouted, on LinkedIn by these fake scammers trying to get people to fall for it. So
Important info on that one. And then you have a first alert as well. There's a new breakthrough for children with cavities and how they can treat that as well, right?
yeah, this perked me up this morning because I'm a mom.
Right, for
Three
sure.
kids, and it's always a struggle to brush teeth, and we're actually going to the dentist this week. So, and one of mine is you'll find her in the pantry all day long looking for chocolate and
All the sweets.
Yep. So this is really interesting. There is, new information about a liquid that can be applied to teeth and cavities. You think it just might be a cavity, but it really can lead to chronic pain, kids missing school, and other issues, lower academic performance. So it is important. And so there's something that researchers found called silver diamine fluoride. It also goes by SDF. And it works just as well as dental sealants to eliminate tooth decay. A new study by researchers at NYU College of Dentistry finds it to be inexpensive and effective at fighting cavities, and it works just as well as those sealants do. The study was published in the Journal of American Medical Association, and it followed more than 4,000 elementary school students for 4 years. More than a quarter of those students had untreated cavities. And this study shows that this liquid, SDF, is an effective alternative. It can increase access to dental care while also reducing costs. It was originally approved by the FDA to treat tooth sensitivity. The solution is brushed onto teeth and then it kills the decay-causing bacteria. It remineralizes teeth to prevent further decay. And researchers say using it for cavity prevention in schools could keep kids from needing fillings and then parents having to pay money. They said in this study that both hygienists and also registered nurses applied this solution. So school nurses could play a big role too in these prevention programs for cavities in schools because they need enough people to be able to supply it.
Sure.
We love some good news from the First Alert Safety Desk as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
you so much.
Yep, thank you.
All right, want to let you know what's coming up tonight on Action 2 News at 6. Special program that's preparing students with differing abilities for rewarding careers after graduation.
It's in our WBAY Cares report. We take you inside a local hospital where interns are getting both classroom and hands-on work experience to grow both hard and soft skills to help them achieve their future job goals.
It teaches me how to become a better person, to be a good employee, and to do things on my own.
You'll see how Project Search is exposing students to different career paths while growing their confidence and independence.
It's a success story you don't want to miss. That's tonight on Action 2 News at 6.
And happening today, celebration for a major milestone in Menasha, marking its sesquicentennial or 150th birthday.
You are a pro. That's the third time you've had to read that today. Didn't mess it up once. Impressive. It's a big celebration. Everyone's invited. Menasha is celebrating its past, present, and future. Organizers of the birthday party say there will be a unique Back to the Future encounter with Menasha's first mayor back in 1874 and the current 40th mayor.
That's cool.
I'm very interested to see how they're going to make that happen.
I agree. And then, of course, there's cake, right? Because you got to have a birthday cake. Special decorated birthday cake for their 150th anniversary from family-owned Manderfield Bakery. That's going to be great. So that's all happening today at noon at City Hall. And before we go,
buying records.
Oh, that's
has become
what
it's become
about.
popular. Did you ever
Very
you ever use a
popular.
record player?
I did.
Okay.
Grew up with one. Dating myself.
I promise that was.
I had Thriller. I
Yes.
had Miami Sound Machine, Gloria
Oh,
Stefan.
yeah.
So my roommate in college had a record player. So it's common for my
well,
generation
now
to
it's
use
like
them
a-
sometimes.
now
It's
a-
like a hipster
Right.
thing.
He was
Back
definitely
then
a
it was
hipster. Yes.
necessary.
Right. So this is the company is in Wisconsin, selling theirs at a pretty interesting price.
We start off at $1,500 and go all the way up to $26,000, $30,000 depending upon the tone arm and cartridge.
It's Soda Turntables in Walworth County, and they're renowned for producing high-quality sound, and its turntables are in stores and shipped around the world. The Soda stands for state-of-the-art, and they want their customers to appreciate the fine nuances of the wood, stylish design, materials, and build to allow the best sound possible from a record player.
I got in trouble for playing Kool and the Gang too loudly on our record player at home one time.
I think I
Dating
missed the
yourself.
record players. I
Dating
grew up in the
myself.
cassette tape era,
Okay.
and then CDs.
And then CDs, yeah,
now,
yeah.
now my kids just know it. Of course, it's phones. You just put it on your, you put on
I know.
whatever.
I have to tell my kids, like, you can choose to hear any song you want
Right.
at any time.
Right.
Yeah,
We used
so
to wait
different,
by the
right?
radio, like, I
Yes.
hope they play my
The
song.
struggle,
Right?
the struggle was real. The thing is, though, it's $30,000. I mean, it's a lot of scratch for something you can scratch. We just want to spend that.
So cool to see how it's progressed
Yes.
over the years, and we're coming back to the turntables again. Well, thanks so much for joining us for the live stream. We're going to let Catherine and Steve get ready for their cut-in on GMA.
Have a great rest of your Tuesday.